So in this episode, we're using timers, trying that out, see if maybe we can shorten the length of our
5-minute timers.
5-minute timers.
5 minutes.
And only 5. And we're out of time for this intro.
Oh, shit.
This looks terrible.
We've got 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to talk about King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. You're on.
Well, based on the title, the extended title, I figured it was going to be about retro arcade games. I was right. It is specifically mostly about Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong video game where you actually play as Mario and you run up some ladders and dodge barrels and stuff because Donkey Kong is throwing them at you and you save Princess Peach. I actually remember playing that game. And
You're spending too much time on Donkey Kong.
Well, it's the basis for the movie.
We all know what Donkey Kong is. Move on.
That's not true. Some people only remember like modern Nintendo.
Oh, I didn't know this. This video is directed towards
Gen Z.
the Amish.
But yeah, I've played Donkey Kong in the past at arcades and been like, I'd look at the top score and I'd be like, man, who's just that good at this game? Who spends that much time like perfecting their game on this stuff? And
yeah, it's a particularly hard arcade game.
Yeah,
like compared to like modern day Mario games or modern day Donkey Kongs.
And this documentary definitely answers that question. I definitely feel like this is a subset, like a microculture in society that I didn't really think about very much. And what's very interesting is that when it starts out, you're like, okay, well, who really gives a shit? You know, what's the big deal? Okay, you're great at an arcade game.
Yeah.
But it manages to pull you in, at least it pulled me in. And just kind of, by the end of it, I'm obsessed. And I'm like, you find yourself rooting for people, hating people. It sets the stage and you meet basically the world record. I can't edit those dogs out.
Dogs.
You meet the World Record Holders Association of Retro Video Games.
I forgot what it was called.
Right. But Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell!
Billy Mitchell is...
I don't know if this will help.
He's the world record holder since 1982-83 of Donkey Kong. He's got this unbeatable score, 80,000. It's like 850,000.
Yes,
I said 80,000. 850,000, right. Roughly around there.
Yeah.
And it's a score nobody's been able to touch since the 80s.
Yeah.
And we cut
including
to
himself.
Right. And we cut to mid 2000s where we're still, you know, there. I guess that's when the documentary crew starts interviewing these guys. And that's when we meet our other main character, Stephen Weeby.
Stephen Avery.
Steve Weeby. Although they keep calling him Weeb. By accident. A lot of people accidentally.
By accident.
Right. Well,
yeah.
And he's just a guy who's down on his luck, got laid off of his lifetime job, or quit, I'm not sure. I think he got laid off.
Steve Weeb? No, I think he still works at the school.
No, but he was his career job that his dad was doing, and he followed in his footsteps. He either got laid off or something.
Oh, I missed that.
And so he's down on his luck and he's job hunting, and he has one of those little Donkey Kong arcade games, and he finds out what the world record is, and he's like, I could beat that.
Yeah.
So he's got a math brain, a science mind, he's multi-talented, plays a bunch of instruments. I really dug that aspect of him. He's a family man, but basically at night he sits there trying to calculate and figure out the algorithms of this video game, and he becomes good at it, and he actually tapes himself getting the new world record, sends it in. The world record people are like, oh shit, okay, and then that's where it starts to take a turn and starts to get kind of intense and dark, because Billy Mitchell doesn't like that his score has been come for. And I kind of suspected that maybe they did a little heavy editing to make him a way bigger douchebag than he is in real life. He definitely talks pretentiously.
When you want to attach your name to a world record, when you want your name written into history, you have to pay the price.
Not even Helen of Troy had that much attention.
He definitely talks pretentiously, and he definitely, when somebody's calling him out on something, he gets very defensive and doubles down. But I don't think that all the people around him would be talking that highly of him if he was just a complete asshole.
I think he's a psychopath, and I think that he's very persuasive.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
Well, I couldn't tell.
I think he was
If they-
able to
if they
ascend
had-
to like king of the nerds.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like the Donald Trump of like.
He does have that kind of
Yeah.
air about him. I think that's a really good. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, he has those tendencies where he can just throw something back and make it seem like, well, I'm not the one who's nuts. You're the one who's nuts.
He
And,
gaslights people.
Yeah, and you see him basically. It's crazy because at first that was 5 minutes.
That's 5 minutes, man. So
It's a
closing arguments.
captivating documentary about two people trying to battle to be the king of Kong,
It's absolute brutality.
and I have to recommend it. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of backstabbing, juicy stuff. Surprisingly for a arcade game, so
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a David Goliath story.
yeah,
And I think my own 2 cents to throw in there, I think that the hero of that movie is Steve Weeby's wife. The shit that lady puts up with.
yeah,
Like, because there's a scene where he's breaking the Donkey Kong record, and like his kid is shouting at him that he needs assistance in the bathroom. And Steve Weeby is like, hold on, I gotta finish playing the game! Not what he sounds like. But,
I don't believe this is happening. Wipe your bottom? I will in a second, bud. Okay, bring me some toilet paper, buddy. Derek, I'm gonna get the world record, Derek. Derek, I'm gonna get the world record. Derek? Derek! You stop it! It's all on tape, and that's the tape I had to send into Twin Galaxies.
this is a very rushed game,
okay.
because I didn't plan it out a lot, because I was doing other things. But, I'm just gonna quiz you on the Avatar franchise.
Oh no.
So the new Avatar is coming out this December.
I've seen Avatar one time, and then I've seen it on the screen, like in the background of bars.
That's weird. What bars do you go to?
Well, like when I'm with people that like want to go out to a Buffalo Wild Wings or a sports bar, there's always all those TVs playing the game, and then there's that one that's just showing Avatar.
I did not know this fact. So if you need to rewatch Avatar, go out to your local Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is screening the original Avatar in anticipation of the release of the new Avatar movie, which is called
The Way of Water.
You're killing it.
Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Avatar 2.
I saw the trailer.
So, do you remember when the year that the first Avatar came out?
2007.
No.
Okay.
2009.
Okay.
Do you know?
How do you know all the? I thought you were gonna have your phone out or something. You just know these?
No, I looked them up earlier. I can remember some things. But here, I'll pretend that I'm looking at my phone.
No, it's too late. I'm just editing this in real time now.
What is the runtime of the new Avatar movie?
Oh, fucking 2 hours and 38 minutes.
3 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh my god, dude. I don't know if I want to.
Alright, I do have to look this last one up. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I just need to...
You memorize the runtime for the new Avatar.
That's a crazy
not out.
runtime!
Okay.
That's a crazy runtime. Alright, so, how many Avatar sequels are either in post-production or are currently filming? So, like, how many basically are on the docket right now?
After 2?
So, well, how many in the franchise total will there be? How many Avatars will we have?
I'm just gonna say some insane number because I heard a rumor. 9?
Are you speaking German?
9!
No, 5 Avatar movies.
Okay, thank God. No, I'm relieved. I'm relieved to hear that.
That's the end of the game. Magic. Anthony Hopkins. A David Attenborough film.
It's Richard Attenborough.
Starts off super strong. I gotta say, it starts off super strong. It you're immediately like in the story. You're immediately feeling sympathetic for Anthony Hopkins' character because he's a magician. He comes from perhaps a long line of magicians, or perhaps just his father was a magician. One of those two. His father's name is Merlin. And I skipped right over. This is the Jeff Dunham biopic. This is the prequel to Mel Gibson's The Beaver. No, okay, so yeah, you feel bad. You feel sympathetic for him because no one cares about his magic, and then he gets picked up by an agent. And the agent literally is like smoking a cigar. He's like, I'm gonna make you a big star. He's like handing him cigars. He's like, I'm gonna make you a big star. And the agent, I think, says something to the effect of, hey, like, don't suck though. Like, don't go on to suck. And
well, he said, yeah, because a lot of people that he helps get famous like turn shitty.
Yeah, don't turn shitty. Yeah. Oh yeah, so the whole way, sorry, I skipped over something. The reason he got people to care about his magic was because he started doing
ventriloquism
and Vin Dieselism, and that got people
Vin
to care.
Diesel puppet
Because in the world that this takes place in, people hate magic, but they love ventriloquism.
Yeah, I've always said David Blaine needs like a Vin Diesel puppet.
Yeah, so that happens, and then they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna set you up, but you just need to get a physical exam from a doctor and
mental exam.
Oh, a mental exam? Okay,
a psychiatric evaluation.
Oh, I thought it was a physical evaluation. That makes a lot more sense. And he's like, no. And they're like, you're afraid of success. That's why you don't want to do this like exam. And he's like, fuck you. And then he gets in a cab and he like goes to his like childhood home. And he's like talking to the cabbie driver and he's like, yeah, this is my shitty house where I grew up. And the cab's like, oh, okay, that is a shitty house. And then he's like, take me to these weird cabins in the woods. And so then he goes and he stays there. And that's why the movie's weird, is because it just like, you feel like it's going to be this big movie with a bunch of different sets where he's like going all over the world and like doing his routine. And then they almost like put you in a bottle episode in this cabin and you never leave there. Whereas like other movies where that is the case, like a Cabin in the Woods movie, you kind of know like going into it, that's where it's driving. And it's usually a shorter lead up to it. But this one, they kind of mislead you. They're going to be like, oh, this is going to be about this guy's success story as a magician. And that's kind of how it starts, but then it turns into like, no, we're putting you in this cabin and you're not going to leave there. Right. And then it just it gets kind of predictable and it's just like, yeah, he's crazy. He like doesn't know the line between the dummy being real or fake, and he murders some people, and then him and the dummy murder each other, and then it's over.
It did strike me slightly differently, but I mean, yeah. You still got a minute,
cool.
Dude. You got a minute.
I still have follow-ups. But anyway, I think it's interesting to watch. It's not like, I hate using qualifiers of good or bad, but like it's an interesting watch, but it does start up, it's very front-loaded in how I feel how good it is. I feel like it starts off very interesting and you're kind of like, oh, I wonder where this is going to go. Mm-hmm. And then they stick you in that cabin and it gets very predictable and maybe a little boring from there. And I think ventriloquism is just like super cringy and hard to watch. I think that's the other thing for me.
I didn't know that about you, honestly.
No, I mean,
that's never come up in our 10. I feel bad not knowing that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, because with that guy's Jeff Dunham, right? He's the dummy guy.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't watch that guy's stuff. I think it's fucking awful.
Good evening, Ahmed. Good evening, infidel.
But I mean, it is creepy, so it's good, like, thriller material. Mm-hmm. But not for me.
For me, my personal takeaway, I got to come a little bit in the defense.
Yeah.
I think that the beginning is exciting and the middle drags a little, and then once for me, there's a sequence in it that I think is fantastic. I think it's perfect cinema, where his manager finds him at the cabin and realizes that he's losing his shit.
That's a good
and tells him to make the dummies shut up for 5 minutes.
Like our 5 minutes on the clock thing.
Make Fat shut up for 5 minutes.
$5 I can make him shut up for 5 years.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and it's so tense, and you realize, like, oh my god, he can't turn it off.
No, that's a great scene.
He's gone insane. Like,
That
he's
is
lost
a great
his damn
scene.
mind. And then he starts murdering people, but it's almost like, it's always accidental. It's like he's constantly trying to cover up stuff. He's trying to cover up that he's crazy.
Yeah. No, that the 5 minutes on the clock scene is very good, and is like, that's like your takeaway. It's like it's kind of like the end of Strozik, how that, like, the ending of Strozik is kind of like, if you get through all that other stuff, that is like very good cinema there. I would say the same thing about that scene where it's just very tense and they're going back and forth. Great dialogue and just a great scene, yeah.
I can't make it. Well, I didn't think you could.
Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Norman Maine. My mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you. You have nothing to fear but fear itself, nothing to give but blood, sweat, and tears, nothing to lose but your chains. Here he is, boys. Here he is, world. Here is Fat! You're not letting him out of here. He's the villain. Don't forget that.
Hey, I think you better sit down.
Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins. Mm-hmm. Very cool, controlled, calm, insane.
Yeah.
This version of Anthony Hopkins going insane, sweaty, anxious, losing his marbles.
This is his Nick Cage movie. This is...
Listen, I took a failure with a charm of Tricky Dicky Nixon. I made her skyrocket. It's not gonna be you and her, it's gonna stay you and me. Except from now on, even that's changed. It's me and you. You don't have a weak stomach. You look tired. I'm not. Then what are you yawning for? I'm not yawning. Gotta wake you up. Crawl around. That should help. You think? Hey, yeah, it does help. Say thank you, Fats. Thanks. Thanks, Fats. We're feeling like I do. I feel this kind of fucking too.
Hey, you got talent after all. Let's see what else you can do. Fats his smile.
Fats his frown. Fats his touch the ceiling. Fats his spin around. Fats his get a knife. What? Get a knife. Come on. From my suitcase. Yeah.
So, we would both recommend King of Kong to viewers. I would recommend Magic. You maybe not so much.
I recommend Magic Mike 2. Red, white, and blonde.
Funny enough, Sam Raimi of the Evil Dead and Spider-Man movies is thinking about remaking Magic.
I would say think again.
Do you want to do assignments?
Oh shit, I didn't think. Oh wait, I got.
We can do it off camera.
I got a list.
Okay. While you're looking, I'll throw one at you. Have you ever seen the film Frailty?
No.
With Bill Paxton.
No, I love Billy Paxton.
It's a 90s movie called Frailty. It's another thriller. I think you might like this one a little more. It's not about ventriloquism. There's no Vin Diesel puppet.
Have you seen the movie Spun?
No.
Spun.
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 Spun. Spun. Spun.
All right.
Yeah.
Spun